I left prison with the clothes on my back. After 20 years, I own my socks, my pants.
At 60, Tracy Cowan also owns her story and the life choices that she made. The good?
When I went to Michigan State, I was taking pre-law.
Earned a bachelor's degree and loved working for nonprofits, helping people, serving the community. Now out of prison, Tracy is doing it again at the Horatio Williams Foundation.
Horatio has been a longtime friend of mine, and he gave me a job as like an administrator here. And also I'll be doing domestic violence workshops.
But Tracy also made bad life choices.
I was always on both sides. I was always in the streets and I was always in school or working.
Her boyfriend, Maserati Rick, was one of Detroit's most notorious drug dealers in the 1980s.
So, were you ever a drug dealer too? Were you involved in that enterprise?
Yeah, I helped a lot. I was the quintessential drug dealer girlfriend. So I dropped out of school. I started pursuing my dreams and stuff.
At the same time, you're thinking that his life's in danger.
Yeah.
And maybe yours too.
Our life is in danger, exactly. It was very abusive.
To the point where if you wanted to get out, you couldn't.
I couldn't leave. I couldn't go nowhere. I tried to. It was always, I'm going to kill you. I can't have you. So
ultimately, he was murdered and Tracy was free to build a safer life for herself and her 3 kids away from street life. But that freedom only lasted for the next 20 years.
So I was always going back and forth, making the changes, but still had that association.
In association to a drug dealer who secretly stashed drugs in her house. It led to a raid, her arrest, conviction, and a 22-and-a-half-year prison sentence when she was 41.
I didn't think it all the way through as far as what I needed to do that was best for me and my family.
Why?
I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't, but it was just, I think I didn't love myself as much as I thought I did.
Of all places, she found that love and purpose in prison, helping other inmates with GED tutoring, mentoring, and legal issues.
Worked in the law library, so I was one of those jailhouse lawyers, I guess.
So you were literally helping people with their cases.
Oh, yeah.
And help ladies with personal battles, facilitating workshops for domestic violence and sexual abuse.
Every woman that I talked to in domestic violence had sexual abuse in their life. They were a runaway. They were something was at home that was drawing them out to the streets. So what are we doing to intercede in there? You know, what is going on? Why are we paying attention to what's happening to girls in their homes and stuff? You know, being molested, being raped, you know, being date raped. I want to be able to advocate for some type of programming in the women's prison that addresses sexual assaults and sexual abuse and stuff.
Well, it seems like you really bonded with these women, that your prison experience was in some way good for you.
It was good for me. It was where God wanted me to be. No regrets at all. I'm so happy that I'm the person that I am because of what I went through in prison.
Which included a nearly 20-year legal fight to get out of an old, lengthy, mandatory minimum sentence, appealing for and denied commutation from 3 Michigan governors.
I just want the women to remain hopeful in prison. I just want to be an example to, because once you don't have any more hope, like I was losing so much hope, Rhonda, in there.
Ultimately, it was Governor Whitmer, with the help of Rick Wershey, shortly after his release, that restored that hope and Tracy's freedom.
He was really taking a big chance on advocating for somebody he didn't really know, you know. So,
but your cases were kind of similar.
So similar. Rick got Michigan House Representative Tanisha Yancey involved, and Stuart Friedman, an attorney. They all came together as a team, and she was just receptive to signing my commutation. So I just want to say how grateful I am to her. They are still supportive. The governor has people calling me sometime and making sure I'm okay. The Rick calls me almost every other day.
Now Tracy wants to advocate for prison reform and women still inside.
Women that deserve freedom, have earned freedom, who are not a threat to society, would be so productive in society.
Like Tracy, sharing her mistakes she ultimately didn't learn from.
Like I didn't honor the fact that I was given these values, that I knew better. I want this to be a cautionary tale. That one decision to be with that guy can just change the trajectory of your life. Making sure you're doing what's right, best for you, and not what's best for somebody else. And never think about consequences or risk. Don't think that you're invincible or untouchable, or don't ignore the red flags.